Hey everyone, Scott, the Scottman. We're here to do a drive video today. We're going to be heading west on US Highway 12 from I-94 out here near Ypsilanti, heading all the way out to US 127 south of Jackson, like southwest of Brooklyn, Michigan. It is an overcast day. It was supposed to be sunny out today, and apparently they, as I always say, it's like, sorry about that. My GoPro actually came off the dashboard. Okay. I think I ran over a big bump or something, and it decided to go AWOL on me. But we should be good though. But anyway, so I was trying to say is that it's like I've always said that it's like meteorologists in Michigan get paid to lie. But so anyway, but yeah, it is overcast and it is cold out today. Current thermometer is reading 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Convert that to Celsius is around like -5. I think it's supposed to get to a little bit below just a little bit below freezing, I think, tonight. Or today, excuse me. But yeah, so I previously have done a video on Highway 12 going the other way like a long time ago, but when I was looking at the footage of that, the footage was horrendous because it was even before I had a GoPro, and I was filming with a camera with it taped to the dashboard, and of course that camera, which I no longer have, did not have full HD quality, and let's just say it's like anytime I went over even a simple bump, it would almost make, if you're watching the video, it almost make you seasick. It was that bad. So figured do a brand new video on this today, and not only that too, but I'd be going the opposite direction, going west, pretty much the same direction as when I did some of those other Highway 12 videos, going from like downtown Detroit all the way to I-94. Oh, this is a good time. The light just turned green. So this is Carpenter Road here. We have the interchange with US Highway 23, and I think in the past year or two they rebuilt this interchange. So now, like, you're coming from Saline from the west and you want to go north on 23, they built a ramp to the right so that you can easily get on the freeway without having to make the left turn back there like you had to a while ago. So this stretch between 23 and also Saline, this can get kind of busy because there's been a lot of expansion out here, like in the whole Ann Arbor metro area. A lot of different subdivisions have been going in all along Michigan Avenue. I'm filming this on a Sunday morning, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. I haven't been over here in a while, so it's like they've been doing a lot of new stuff here. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of driving videos filmed this weekend, as I filmed 2 other ones yesterday. And it's like going back to the weather again. It's like today was supposed to be the nicer of the 2 days. Temperature wise, yes. But it was supposed to be cloudy yesterday and sunny today. It ended up being the exact opposite. Today is overcast. I've not seen the sun at all today. However, yesterday, like, it got very sunny, especially once you got to like lunchtime. So more about this route. So US Highway 12, this is the original route from Detroit going all the way to Chicago. So long before I-94 was built, this was the main route people would take to go from Detroit to Chicago. And it kind of goes roughly along an old rail line, or not, I don't know if it was a rail line, maybe there was, but there used to be, even before roads were even constructed, there was like a whole trail which would go from Detroit to Chicago, and they built this road generally along it. But of course, once they built I-94, then this is more just serving like just smaller communities, like with Saline being the first one. And yeah, if you're coming from like 23 going to the Michigan International Speedway, well, more so if you're coming from Metro Detroit, this is the highway you'd be taking. We got like 33 miles until we get over there. We don't go right by the racetrack or anything, but we'll be, like, even in this video, we'll be going close to where that is. Because, yeah, this is going to be a longer drive video because we have a lot of ground to cover. And we have a busy shopping center or shopping area over here, because we're trying to get into some more activity as we get closer to Saline. We got like a Walmart off to the right, and I see some different smaller stores too, although, yeah, I saw that bump. Thankfully it wasn't bad enough to knock this GoPro off. So Highway 12, yeah, it connects, or it goes through towns like Saline, and it continues further west out toward Coldwater, and then even further west, eventually heads out toward Niles and the New Buffalo over on Lake Michigan. Then it goes down into Indiana along the shores of Lake Michigan, and it goes through like Michigan City, Indiana to Gary, Indiana, eventually into Chicago. So it's not the ideal route to go to Chicago, but it's a nice scenic route if you want to take a longer route and avoid the freeway. Yeah, now we got some more activity coming up. Once we get past this road here, Industrial Drive, yeah, now we're in the city limits for Saline. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's a good reminder. So yeah, especially with the name of that plaza. So the Sauk Trail, S-A-U-K, that was the name of the trail which Highway 12 runs along today, which was that trail that was built like in like the 19th century, before the automobile was invented. Yeah, I'm even seeing some snow flurries right now. We're not even supposed to see snow today. Again, I say, meteorologists in Michigan get paid to lie. And yeah, I think, yeah, we're now starting to get more into like the heart of Saline a little bit. Even has some fast food restaurants too, like KFC, Taco Bell, Dairy Queen, Tim Hortons, even Domino's Pizza. I'll have to stop here for sure. Yep, otherwise I'm going through the red. And we're coming into downtown Saline now. So this is going to be the largest city or town we'll be driving through in this video. Then, of course, going back the other way, that, of course, heads back toward where Ypsilanti is, and we pretty much go south of Ann Arbor along Highway 12. Ypsilanti is a nice little community. I remember filming a video here, I think a couple years ago, when I went to Saline and also to Dexter. Oh, good time. This light just turned green. And if this is Ann Arbor Street here, which turns into Ann Arbor Saline Road, and you can take that north all the way into Ann Arbor, and even goes by Michigan Stadium as well too, where the University of Michigan football team plays their games. But yeah, overall, Saline is not that big. At least the main downtown center is not all that big, but it's definitely gone through a lot of expansion. And yeah, here we have the Saline River. There's even a nice little park off to the left too. So yeah, there's even been some expansion in even the west side of town too. People making left and right turns, and we just made that traffic light. Okay, so we got 11 miles to Clinton, Michigan, 67 miles to Coldwater. Obviously, Coldwater we will definitely not even get close to in this video. Coldwater is on the other side of I-69, and yeah, that's quite a ways away. I would say now once we get over here, this is where Highway 12 becomes less traveled. Because there are people who live in Saline who commute all the way into Metro Detroit, because a lot of people will move way out like this and go all the way into downtown Detroit every day, which I don't really understand that, because it's like, the thing is it's like, yeah, if you work in the like downtown Detroit, for example, it's like I'm not saying you have to live in Detroit or anything, or live like immediately close to the area or to the city, but it's like I don't really understand. It's like why you would, so you work in downtown Detroit and you live either way out here or up in like Bryan or well, Bryan, Michigan, it's understandable a little bit because you're at least right off the freeway. Where here, it takes like at least 10-15 minutes to get to the freeway. And just like there's some communities too, like in the northwest part of Metro Detroit too, like people will live out in Heartland or Howell or Holly, Michigan, and they commute all the way to Detroit, and they do it every day, which I could not fathom doing anything like that. It's like if I were to live that far out, I would want to be working remotely 5 days a week, like without a doubt. I don't know, it's just because it's like the further you're away from the city, the less options of routes to take to get into the city, for example. And let's just say if there is a really bad car accident on your only route, it's like, all I can say is good luck getting into the office. Whereas like you live a little closer, you can take alternate routes. You can easily get to, or you may have to just take like a detour that maybe takes like 5 extra minutes. But it'd be better than having to sit in traffic potentially for 30 minutes. then sometimes if it doesn't happen until after you leave for work or something, you can't necessarily leave early. Oh, the sun's starting to make it a little bit of an appearance. So maybe the clouds might start to thin out finally. So maybe this is what they're talking about. Maybe it was supposed to get a little bit more cloudy overnight and then clear up throughout the day. We'll see though. But yeah, it's definitely understandable when we want to live like out in the country or away from like the city, to where you have a little bit more peace and quiet, and you got wide open spaces. But at the same time, it's like you have to drive an hour or even an hour and a half into work. It just does not seem worth it. It's one thing if you let's say you're working on a hybrid schedule where you're remote 2 or 3 days a week and you only have to go in a couple days a week. That's a little different. Like that I could stomach, but 5 days a week, absolutely no. It's like, in fact, yeah, it's like if you happen to live away from the city like that and you commute to work every day, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Like why you enjoy living so far away from the city if you have to commute 5 days a week. It's like you think that, I don't know, because it's like it seems like a waste of time just to be in the car for an hour or even an hour and a half driving to work, and then you have to do it again going back. But it's like, well, another interesting example too is that because the company I work for, the main headquarters is in Germany, and although not every day, thankfully, but there's a couple people who work at our main German office where the headquarters is in Stuttgart, Germany, and there are people who live in Munich, which is like 3 hours away by car. And it takes them 2 or 3 hours to get there, like so far to where they're only in the office like 2 or 3 days a week, but they end up staying in a hotel for 2 or 3 nights, and they do it every week. It's like, I don't understand it. But at the same time, some people will enjoy it though. It's like I could not even imagine commuting 2 or 3 hours to go to the office. But yeah, like even an hour and a half away it's a lot. And again, one way. So, because if you work 8 or 9 hours for a work day, although there are people here in the United States which work long hours because their employer forces them to where they end up working like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours in a day. And then they still have to do the hour and a half commute home. So let's say you work at a job that requires you to work longer than the standard 8 hours in a day, or 9 hours if you could, like an hour-long lunch. And on top of that, you have to drive an hour to and from work each day. So that's 11 and then 12 hours. So there are only 24 hours in a day. So let's say you have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. You leave for work around 7. So basically you end up waking up around 5:30 or 6 o'clock to get ready, maybe have like a quick breakfast. If you drink coffee, maybe have a coffee. I don't drink coffee, I just drink water, so or you can also drink tea, of course. Then you drive or leave for work at 7 o'clock. You get there at 8 o'clock, assuming you even get there on time because traffic wasn't bad or something. Although So sometimes if you know traffic's going to be bad because of road construction or... Yeah, now the sun's coming out. Or you already know that there's a traffic accident along the way, then you have to leave even earlier. But let's just keep it an hour just to have it be more of an ordinary day. Then you go in the office, you start your day at 8 o'clock, and probably you'll get a lunch around 12 or something like that. You have like a lunch break for an hour. And that's assuming that, depending on your job, they don't tell you that, no, you have to keep working during your lunch. There's a meeting you have to attend. Like, you have a sandwich, you brought in a sandwich, eat it during your meeting, or something like that. Or if it's an in-person meeting, it's like, be like, suck it up and don't eat until later, or something like that. And then your workday ends at 5 o'clock, and that's assuming that your job allows you to leave at 5 o'clock, and it's not like you're forced to stay longer because there's something that has to be done that you can't get done in the normal workday. But let's just assume that you are able to leave at 5 o'clock. You drive an hour to get home, and that's factoring good traffic, because you could run into rush hour traffic, which could make things even longer, so it could take even longer. So it's 6 o'clock, so you've been gone from home for 11 hours. That's again, this is on a good day. Come home, you make dinner, and then maybe barely have time to watch TV or something like that, and then before you know it, you're brushing your teeth and then going to bed. So it gets a little crazy. Or if you lived a little closer, let's say you only had like a 20-minute commute or even like a 30-minute commute, you'd get a whole hour back. Or if you work from home or work remotely, you get 2 hours back. So that's 2 more hours where 2 hours more free time where you could do more things or spend time with your family. It's like, I don't really understand like the whole thing about, there's been a lot of employers, because during the pandemic a lot of people worked remotely because of all that was going on like a few years or so ago. But now people are starting to be forced back into the office again. I'll resume the topic in a few minutes, but right now we're entering Lenawee County, and we're entering the village of Clinton, Michigan. Not to be confused with Clinton Township, Michigan, which is over in the northeast part of Metro Detroit. But yeah, there are a lot of Clintons in Michigan. Like, you got Clinton Township, Michigan, in Macomb County. Of course, we have the village of Clinton right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get over. And there's also a Clinton County that's north of Lansing. So it is very interesting, I have to say, with the naming of these towns here in Michigan. Yeah, the village of Clinton is pretty nice. It's a nice little small community. It's a little smaller than Saline, but I've always loved that little clock tower on that one building here at this intersection. And it looks like we'll have to stop at this light here. And then we're going to go to the town of Tecumseh, just make a left turn here and you head due south. Yeah, not too big, but it's a nice little community though. Although I just said that, but I mean it though, because I remember walking around here several years ago. One of my older videos was filmed here, and I really enjoyed walking around the town. And yeah, we should be getting out of town now. Yep, we have the River Raisin over here. Got a nice little park off to the left there. So we have 20 miles to go till we get to US 127, 55 miles to Coldwater. And as I said at the beginning of the video, 127 is what we're driving to today. So we already have another 20 miles to go. So we've made a lot of great progress in this video already. And over here, like this is like the west side of Clinton, obviously. We got a couple different gas stations, and if I remember, I think there's even a dealership as we get close to M52. Again, it's been a while since I've been out in this area. Like, other than any lingering snow piles, snow's pretty much all gone here in the southern part of the state. Like, well, especially like down here as you get close to the border with Ohio. There's still snow on the ground though as you go north, especially going to northern Michigan. We had a lot of snow melt this past week, and we got more coming this week because we have warm temperatures and rain coming in. Yeah, I was right. Yes, we got actually dealerships. Emphasis on the plural here. So got a Chevrolet dealership. There's even a Dodge, Ram, and Jeep and Chrysler dealership. And here's the intersection for M52. So M52, if you head south on it, that'll take you down to Adrian, which is a nice little city, as you head closer to the border with Ohio. And then you head north on M52, that'll take you up to Manchester, and then up to Chelsea, which Chelsea is a very nice community up near I-94. And as we cross over M52, we are now in the Irish Hills. So it's a nice little hilly area in southern Michigan. So it's a lot more scenic compared to what we were seeing back there, like the other side of Clinton. The hills aren't really too significant or anything, but still it's pretty though, especially during like the springtime or the summertime where everything's in bloom. And yeah, right now we're 10 miles away from the Michigan International Speedway. So yeah, going back to what I was talking about earlier, so it's like, it's interesting how a lot of employers are telling people to come back into the office, even full time. But yeah, well, it's interesting that they're, like, for the company I work for, one of our customers, like, for the longest time, they were fully remote. But they're starting to ask people to come back to the office. And the interesting thing is, some people have moved to where they moved to the other side of the country. So it's like, so you're telling them they're gonna have to all of a sudden move back quickly or something like that. It's like, good luck with that one. Because there are a lot of jobs out there which, yeah, could easily be remote. Like, there's no need to be in the office. But there are jobs, of course, where, yeah, you definitely have to go in. Like, for example, if you're an engineer and it's like if you're an engineer and you're basically working the assembly lines, like, yeah, you can't do that remote. But so there's a lot of jobs out there where, yeah, you absolutely cannot be remote. Or let's say you work for a company and you're the network administrator and you have on-premise servers. Well, obviously you have to be in the office every day, because if there was a problem with your network and all your network administrators were remote, you're gonna have an outage for a long time. So that's not a good thing. thing too, or even if you're like a system administrator and you have servers that are being run or operated physically at a office or at a service center or whatever, and yeah, that's where you'll have to be in the office in case problems were to arise. And yeah, here's now we get some pretty scenery. Because we are now getting to the heart of the Irish Hills. Yeah, this is really nice. It's like a part of me almost should have waited till like the springtime or something, where it would have been really nice out. In fact, I think someone even told me, I don't know, it was in a YouTube comment or an Instagram comment, about a restaurant along Highway 12 here in the Irish Hills that's supposed to be really good. Almost would have to check it out sometime. I won't be able to today because I don't even remember the name of the restaurant. Very nice terrain back in here. But it's like if you only travel the freeways, you get to miss out on gems like this. Nice little campground off to the left, although it's not open yet for the season. I think there are some campgrounds around the state of Michigan which stay open year-round, but many close for like the winter. Oh, a little miniature golf course there. Obviously not open yet for the year. And what's nice too is that there are even some small lakes in the Irish Hills as well too. Like there's even one off to the left, and can't really see it from the video, but yeah, there's still ice on these small lakes right now. Because yeah, February and even like a good part of January, it was very cold this year, so it's gonna take a lot to melt all these smaller lakes. But out here in the Irish Hills, a lot of people have like different like summer cottages or summer homes where they'll spend a weekend or even like a week's vacation where they come out here and enjoy the great outdoors. Or heck, like even after you retire, a lot of people will come out here too just to live like year round. Irish Hills Visitor Center. Randy's Barbecue. Entering Cambridge Township at, oh wow, looks like the Wild West off to the left over there. It's like a Western resort. Yeah. Very interesting. And we're approaching the intersection for M124. So if you head to the right, you have W.J. Hayes State Park, which is a nice little small state park. There's a nice lake that's over at the park. I think Wampler's Lake. And I think M124, yeah, M124 goes to Brooklyn, Michigan, although it's more of a scenic route to Brooklyn. Huh, you got these little forest amusement parks all in this area. out here in the summertime, especially. Oh yeah, that's really cool off to the left there. Highway 12 out here in the Irish Hills, a very underrated part of Michigan. It definitely makes this for a much more pleasant and scenic drive. I've been noticing a lot of small cemeteries along in here too. St. Joseph Shrine Catholic Church. Nice little small church. Another church off there to the right. Yeah, just love the scenery out here, I have to say. Have a drink of water, but I'm waiting for a nice little straightaway so that way I can, so I don't have to do like heavy duty steering or anything, but it's a little challenging right now. Lake access for Allen Lake off to the left. I'll even see a tent on that lake to the left. Ice must still be thick enough for people to go ice fishing. Although that's not going to last much longer because everything's going to... The ice on the lakes are going to start melting. Alright, now I can finally have some water. So I've been talking for a while, so I needed some kind of drink of water just now. Harold's Family Dining. Looks like a nice restaurant there. It's like, yeah, we're still considered to be in the Irish Hills, although like the hills aren't looking as vibrant as the ones back there, but still it's nice though. I got all these nice older homes too. And we have a traffic light out here of all things too. The upcoming traffic light is for M50, so M50 will take you into Brooklyn, Michigan. And of course, M50 going back the other way will head over toward Tecumseh, and then eventually toward Dundee, and then Monroe. M50 also eventually heads northwest from Brooklyn over to Jackson, Michigan. Ooh, that's a cool Brick Walker Tavern, 1853. Very cool. And we only have 7 more miles to go in this video, and that's where Highway 127 is. I even have a campground off to the left. So we're now starting to go by where the Michigan International Speedway is located. You might even be able to see a part of it to the right. If you see like the bleachers that like are red and yellow, that's the Michigan International Speedway. That is the big racetrack here in the state of Michigan, and every year there is a NASCAR race which takes place there. Trans M50 going north of Michigan International Speedway. And what's really interesting too is that you have all the different campgrounds nearby too. So like when people are attending like the NASCAR race, a lot of people will go camping out here, so that way they have a close access to the speedway. Just because, again, it's way out in the country, and it's kind of far from the freeway too. So it's, although I'm sure people will stay, if they want to stay at a hotel, they'll probably stay over in the Ann Arbor area or even Jackson, and then drive over. One thing's for sure is that, yeah, during like race weekend at the International Speedway, the Irish Hills are very busy. Still considered to be the Irish Hills or not. If we are, we're at the western end of it. Yeah, this has been such an enjoyable drive today. Although it kind of started out not as inspiring because we're in a little bit of a busy area near Saline, but once traffic really dies out once you go west of Saline, and then it gets more scenic once you get west of Clinton, Michigan. But yeah, it's like if you're looking for a little road adventure here in Michigan, definitely go through the Irish Hills. It's a nice area. It's very underrated, and it gets overlooked by all the big areas like the Sleeping Bear Dunes area or anything along the Great Lakes. Although, don't get me wrong, those are very scenic too. It's like, yeah, it's really nice driving on M22 up near Sleeping Bear Dunes. Like, that's one of the best drives you can do in the state of Michigan. Or even driving up in the Upper Peninsula, or especially going up to the I can't talk today, apparently. The Keweenaw Peninsula, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, driving up in the Keweenaw Peninsula, that's very scenic up there, too. But yeah, definitely give the Irish Hills a chance, too. A lot less traffic, unless it's race weekend. Another underrated drive you could even do in like southern or southeast Michigan is like western Livingston County, like driving on some of the roads going toward like where Hell, Michigan is. Like, that's really nice too. Like a lot of motorcycles are on that road too, because there's like a motorcycle bar that's in Hell, Michigan. The only time you might want to stay off of it though, if it's because of more traffic than normal, is either on like around Halloween or perhaps even like Friday the 13th or something. Or just because the town's called Hell, Michigan, where it brings people into town just because of the name. And it's like it's Halloween, or the temperatures are always 666 degrees. Yeah, the clouds are getting a little thicker again. They'll probably I think they'll start clearing out more as the day progresses, though. video on Highway 12 going west of 127 going all the way to I-69 near Coldwater. I have done a video somewhere in that area a while ago, but it needs to be replaced at some point too, because that was also with really bad quality. And we're approaching the traffic light for US Highway 127. So we have driven all the way from I-94 near Ypsilanti, going all the way to 127 south of Jackson. And 127 north will take you up to Jackson. 127 south will take you down toward Hudson, Michigan, eventually down to Ohio. And you can also get to US Highway 223 to get over to Adrian and Blissfield, and then it gets back over the 23 north of Toledo. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on any future adventures. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.